When entrepreneurs are building their business, a lot of people are asked what their legacy will be. A lot of unsuccessful realtors are just chasing commission. When someone asks you, what would you want your legacy to be? So when people remember your business, what would you want your legacy to look like?
This might not come as a surprise to you, but it is something I've thought about. It's in fact how I got into being, two of the niches that I specialize is seniors real estate and divorce real estate. And I didn't choose those because I thought, lots of people getting divorced, I can make a lot of money, or lots of more and more seniors downsizing. Far from it. In fact, as you know, because we've worked on some deals together, those two niches, being that they're going through vulnerable, difficult, emotionally volatile times in their life, they're actually more work for less money. So we're not in it for the money.
No.
I hope people don't judge me for this. I hope people respect me for this. But during COVID, what everybody was saying, after this pandemic, there's going to be a lot of babies and a lot of divorces. There was a realtor called me. They had Googled and saw a Globe and Mail article about me that was done years ago. And she said, there's going to be a lot of divorces after this pandemic. Will you teach me what you know about divorce sales? Because, I think it's going to be very lucrative. And I said, thanks for the call, but no. And I don't mean to be a jerk. That's what I mean. Don't judge me. I'm not in it because it's a get rich thing. It's because I went through my own acrimonious divorce, which doesn't just make you a specialist. It just means you can empathize and relate to people.
That's right.
But as a result of working on hundreds of divorces and things like that, I've acquired knowledge from lawyers and other divorce professionals that I wouldn't say other realtors don't know, but the average realtor isn't trained in. So you have to do it with integrity. And so where that comes into the legacy question that you asked me, there was a saying, I don't know how old it is. There was a saying, everybody shows up at your wedding and your funeral. Right? People, where are they? They're missing when times get tough or you need someone to talk to or whatever it is. But at your funeral, everybody shows up. And take that one step further. I once had somebody interview me and one asked me, what you want your legacy to be? This interviewer said, well, at your funeral, what do you want people to say about you? And I thought, because I'm a single dad, I have two beautiful daughters, and I thought, heaven forbid when the time comes that they're at my funeral, everybody's going to come up and say, oh, your dad was such a great guy. Oh, your dad was such a nice guy. Because they say that about everybody at a funeral. Even if they didn't think I was a great guy, they're going to say it to my daughters. Respect. They're going to say it out of respect. So I don't want them to say that. I mean, I want them to think that. But what I thought about my legacy is I want them to go up to my daughters when my time comes and say, your father made a difference in my life. Nobody says that. And that's something that means something. It means to me. So like I said, I got into the divorce niche because I ended up helping some very vulnerable people through some very acrimonious, difficult divorces. So not only did I acquire knowledge and skills, but I could relate. When I started doing this, I was going through my own divorce. So I could relate emotionally, not just learn the business part of it. And then a few years later, when I helped Mavis, a 91-year-old client, the first senior that I helped with a whole downsizing process, I started to relate. She said, I can't do this and I can't do that. And my husband died a few years ago. And what about the wood furniture? He built it with his own hands. And so as you and I, we both talked about this. When you actually get to know your clients and you genuinely empathize and genuinely care about their story and why they're doing what they're doing, you not only relate, but as realtors, I know you and I are not transactional. We're creating an experience, which sounds cliche, but when you create a positive experience for people who are going through both those niches, they're going through a vulnerable time in life, an emotionally volatile time in life. If you can make a difference in their life, that's what I want my legacy to be.
Oh, that's lovely.
But it's a great question.
Yeah. That's a wonderful answer.
I haven't thought about it.
I think everyone should think about it.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it since that person asked me over 10 years, probably about 12 years ago. So thank you for reminding me.
Yes, not a problem.
Yeah, that was a great question.